April 14, 1912, the largest passenger ship ever built drifted across the freezing North Atlantic. More than 2,200 people slept on board. Some dreamed of America, some celebrated wealth, others simply enjoyed the most luxurious journey of their lives. Titanic was considered impossible to sink, a floating palace, a masterpiece of engineering, a symbol of human confidence. But before sunrise, that confidence would disappear beneath the ocean. Titanic began in Belfast, Ireland. Construction started in 1909. The ship was built by White Star Line. At the time, shipping companies competed for luxury and prestige. Titanic wasn't designed to be the fastest ship. It was built to impress the world. At over 880 feet long, Titanic became the largest moving object humanity had ever created. Inside were grand staircases, luxury dining rooms, electric elevators, swimming pools, and first-class cabins that looked like royal palaces. April 10, 1912, Titanic departed Southampton, England. Its destination, New York City. Passengers came from all walks of life, millionaires, businessmen, families, immigrants searching for opportunity. Everyone believed they were boarding history. No one realized they were boarding tragedy. Life on board felt magical. For first-class passengers, Titanic offered unmatched luxury. For immigrants, it represented hope. For 4 days, the ship crossed peacefully through the Atlantic. The ocean remained calm, the weather perfect. Everything seemed normal. As Titanic moved north into colder waters, warning messages began arriving. Nearby ships reported floating ice, large ice fields, dangerous conditions. But Titanic continued forward. At nearly full speed, confidence remained high. The ship was considered too advanced to fail. The night of April 14th was unusually calm. There was no wind, no waves, no moon. The sea looked black, and somewhere ahead, an iceberg waited silently. 11:40 p.m. A lookout saw something directly ahead. An iceberg. Only seconds remained. The warning reached the bridge. Hard to starboard. Engines reversed. But Titanic was too large, too heavy, too fast. The collision lasted less than 10 seconds. Passengers barely noticed. Some felt a small vibration. Others ignored it entirely. But below the surface, disaster had already begun. The iceberg ripped open multiple compartments. Titanic could survive damage to 4, but 6 were flooding. The ship would not survive. Titanic's designer, Thomas Andrews, quickly understood what had happened. The damage was fatal. Water would continue spilling from compartment to compartment. Titanic had less than 3 hours left. The unsinkable ship was dying. At first, passengers remained calm. Many refused to believe danger existed. Some laughed. Some returned to their rooms. Others stood outside watching the cold night. But below deck, water continued rising, and time was running out. Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for around half the people on board. At the time, regulations did not require more. Many passengers refused to leave. The ship still looked safe. The lights remained on, music still played, and disbelief delayed survival. As lifeboats lowered into the ocean, the ship slowly tilted. The front bow sank deeper, the rear lifted higher. Passengers realized the truth. Panic spread. The freezing Atlantic surrounded them, and there were not enough boats. By 2 a.m., Titanic's fate was sealed. Water reached the front decks. The ship tilted violently. People climbed higher, desperately searching for safety. The cold air cut through the darkness. Then, the lights began failing. At approximately 2:18 a.m., Titanic broke apart. The front section vanished beneath the ocean. The rear section lifted almost vertically. For a moment, the massive ship stood against the night sky. Then it disappeared. Titanic sank beneath the Atlantic. The ocean became silent. The water temperature was below freezing. Most people survived only minutes. The screams echoed through darkness. Then, one by one, the sounds disappeared. More than 1,500 people died that night. Only around 700 survived. It became one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. Hours later, the rescue ship Carpathia arrived. Survivors were pulled from lifeboats, cold, exhausted, shocked. The world soon learned Titanic had disappeared. The unsinkable ship was gone. Today, Titanic rests nearly 13,000 feet below the Atlantic Ocean, broken, silent, frozen in time. More than a century later, the tragedy still fascinates the world because Titanic was never just a ship. It was a warning, a reminder that confidence can become arrogance, and nature always has the final word.